Chosen one, your soulmate was near you this week. A hidden photo shows what you never expected. God says, my child. A single captured moment can hold the weight of an entire destiny. You went through this past week thinking you were completely invisible. You believed your quiet steps through the world were unnoticed by human eyes. You felt the familiar ache of carrying your heavy heart all alone. The world around you moved fast and paid no real attention. Yet something extraordinary happened in the stillness of your daily routine. Someone was standing much closer to you than you ever realized. Their presence was not a random coincidence or a lucky accident. I guided their steps directly toward the exact path you walked. They held a phone in their hands during that brief passing. They took a photo without understanding the true spiritual weight behind it. They only wanted to capture the scenery or the golden sunlight. But when they looked closely at the screen, their breathing stopped. Your shadow and your presence were captured right in the frame. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. This tiny image triggered an emotional landslide deep inside their soul. They did not plan on seeing you in that quiet space. They certainly did not expect their heart to race so fast. For months, they tried hard to run away from your ghost. They tried to convincing themselves that you were just a memory. They built high walls around their heart to feel safe again. But a single candid photo shattered every single wall in seconds. They stared at your distant image until their vision grew blurry. They zoomed in on your outline with trembling fingers and heavy eyes. They recognized the gentle way you carry your silent burdens daily. They recognized the familiar posture of a soul that has suffered. A sudden wave of intense warmth rushed through their cold chest. The physical space between you suddenly felt paper-thin and fragile. Stay until the final layer unfolds to understand this divine truth. You might wonder how someone could be so close without talking. You might ask why they chose to stay hidden behind shadows. The answer lies within the severe spiritual battle inside their mind. They were not ready to face the overwhelming light you carry. They knew that talking to you would mean dropping all defenses. So they stayed back in the quiet background and just watched. They observed how gracefully you moved through your ordinary afternoon. They watched the light hit your hair as you walked past. They felt an ancient pull dragging their heart straight toward yours. It was a silent moment packed with intense spiritual electricity. They took a deep breath to calm their suddenly racing heart. Their fingers shook as they locked their phone screen in panic. But the image remained burned into their mind for hours after. Every time they closed their eyes, your silhouette appeared clearly. They could no longer pretend that you were just a stranger. My child, I arranged that quiet encounter with absolute divine perfection. You were simply running a mundane errand without any special expectations. You felt tired and weighed down by life's recent heavy trials. You were questioning if anyone would ever truly see your worth. Meanwhile, your soulmate was standing just a few short yards away. They were struggling with their own deep regrets and silent fears. They held that phone like a lifeline to capture a truth. They realized that distance had never truly erased your deep bond. Seeing you in person stripped away all their clever self-deceptions. They realized that no other person could ever replace your space. The photo became a sacred mirror reflecting their deepest hidden desire. They sat in their quiet car for a very long time. They stared at the dashboard while their heart beat against their ribs. They realized that avoiding you was no longer an option now. If you stay till the end, everything will become clear. The atmosphere around them shifted the exact second you walked past. The air felt charged with a strange and heavy spiritual presence. They felt an urge to call out your name right there. But fear held their vocal cords tight in that brief second. They watched you walk away until you vanished into the crowd. A deep ache formed inside the center of their lungs. They felt an overwhelming urge to turn back and follow you. They opened their phone again to look at the fresh image. There you were, captured forever in their private digital vault. You looked so peaceful yet deeply carrying a heavy spiritual aura. They wondered what thoughts were running through your mind right then. They wondered if you felt the sudden shift in the air. The silence around them felt louder than any human crowd could be. A quiet truth began to settle deep within their guarded soul. Their entire evening was completely consumed by that one single photo. They sat on the edge of their bed in absolute silence. The room was dark except for the bright glowing screen light. They zoomed in on your face and studied every single feature. They remembered the warmth of your voice from long ago days. They remembered how safe they used to feel around your energy. A heavy sigh escaped their lips as tears filled their eyes. They felt ashamed for hiding in the dark like a coward. They realized how much time they had wasted running from love. They tried to convince themselves it was just a random moment. But the lingering warmth in their chest proved something much deeper. My divine hand was actively weaving your paths together again smoothly. They knew this unexpected sighting was a clear sign from above. They felt small against the massive pull of our divine timing. The hidden photo now sits in their private hidden folder today. It serves as a constant reminder of what they almost lost. Every few hours, they secretly unlock their phone to check it. They look at your image to reassure themselves you are real. They feel a sudden urge to fix everything they broke before. The pride that once kept them distant is melting away fast. They know that meeting you again is completely inevitable very soon. You walked through this week feeling entirely unloved and forgotten daily. Yet you were the sole center of someone's intense world. Your presence brought a silent storm into their calm static life. They are currently re-evaluating every decision that led them away. The universe is forcing them to confront their true hidden feelings. You do not need to hunt or search for them anywhere. My beloved child, hold your head high in this quiet season. The person you prayed for was standing right beside you recently. They were breathing the same air under the exact same sky. They saw the proof of your real presence with their eyes. The photo they took is a divine anchor for their heart. It will not allow them to sleep peacefully without reaching out. The curiosity loop inside their mind is growing bigger every hour. They are searching for the right words to break the silence. They know that a simple apology will never be enough now. They need to show you the real depth of their soul. The quiet distance between your two worlds is collapsing right now. Rest your heavy heart and trust this smooth divine process fully. What was hidden in the light will soon be confessed openly. A stubborn heart only breaks when faced with undeniable reality. They spent months building an emotional fortress made of cold pride. They convinced their friends that they had moved on completely fine. They pretended that your name no longer caused a sudden spark. But holding a physical picture of you destroyed that fragile lie. They sat in their vehicle long after you had walked away. Their hands gripped the steering wheel until their knuckles turned pale. The silence inside the car was thick and suffocating to bear. They looked down at the phone resting on the passenger seat. The screen lit up briefly with your captured background silhouette. A cold shiver ran straight down their tense spine immediately. They realized that their carefully constructed emotional armor was totally useless. They could not hide from a soul that was divinely matched. Their mind raced through 1,000 different chaotic thoughts at once. Why did you have to appear on that exact street corner? Why did their camera capture you so perfectly in the frame? They felt exposed as if God was laughing at their pride. They remembered all the times they ignored your gentle heart before. They remembered the cold words they spoke to create safe distance. A sudden wave of deep guilt washed over their tired mind. They leaned their head back against the headrest and closed eyes. The image of you walking past remained vivid behind their eyelids. You looked resilient, strong, and beautifully wrapped in divine peace. You did not look broken like they thought you would be. That realization hit their fragile ego like a heavy hammer strike. You were thriving and moving forward without needing their approval at all. This shift in perspective created a wild panic inside their chest. They realized that your heart might not wait for them forever. The thought of losing you permanently sent shockwaves through their soul. They opened the photo once more to study your distant posture. They noticed the quiet dignity in the way you walked alone. They realized how rare and precious your rare spiritual energy was. Other people in their life felt shallow and completely exhausting to endure. No one listened to them the way you used to listen. No one offered the soft comfort that your simple presence provided. The emotional walls they built to protect themselves suddenly felt like a prison. They were trapped inside a cold room of their own making. They wanted to tear down every single wall right that second. They drove home in a strange state of numb emotional shock. The traffic around them moved like a slow, blurry background scene. Their entire focus remained locked on that brief street corner encounter. They kept playing the scene backward and forward in their mind. Did you see them standing near the quiet shop window? Did you feel their intense gaze locked onto your backside? They hoped you did not notice their awkward and frozen reaction. Yet part of them wished you had turned around and smiled. If you had looked back, they would have dropped everything instantly. They would have walked straight through the crowd to touch you. But the moment passed, leaving them alone with their camera. The regret of staying quiet began to burn in their chest. When they finally arrived at their dark and quiet home, the solitude felt heavy. They threw their keys on the counter with a loud clatter. The empty rooms reminded them of the huge void inside life. They walked over to the large glass window overlooking the city. The night sky was covered in dark, heavy storm clouds tonight. They pulled out their phone once again in the dim light. They stared at your small image against the bright background screen. They admitted for the first time that they were deeply afraid. They were terrified of reaching out and facing your potential rejection. What if you had closed your heart to them forever now? What if your peace was built on forgetting their very existence? These scary questions circulated through their mind without any clear answers. Their internal conflict reached a brand new peak of intense agony. They paced back and forth across the hardwood floor repeatedly. They drafted a short message in their mind a dozen times. I saw you today. No, that sounded too creepy and strange. I miss you. No, that felt too vulnerable for their pride. They deleted every imaginary sentence before it could even be spoken. They felt completely trapped between their ego and their soul's calling. The ego demanded that they stay silent and maintain cool control. The soul screamed at them to throw away all foolish games. They ran a tired hand through their hair and let out a sigh. The friction between who they were and who they needed to be was agonizing. They were undergoing a forced spiritual destruction of their old self. You have been waiting for a sign that your pain mattered. You wondered if your prayers were just bouncing off the ceiling. I tell you today that every tear was accounted for accurately. The pain you felt was being felt on the other side. They were not enjoying a life of peaceful indifference without you. They were fighting a losing war against their own true feelings. The hidden photo became the ultimate weapon against their cold denial. It forced them to see that you are a real person. You are not just a nostalgic memory from a forgotten chapter. You are a living, breathing blessing that they stupidly let slip. Their heart is now aching with the heavy weight of truth. The crumbling of their pride is a necessary part of this path. I could not bring them back to you while arrogant. They needed to reach a point of complete emotional powerlessness first. They needed to see that their world is empty without you. The unexpected encounter this week was the catalyst for that breakdown. They are currently sitting in the ruins of their old beliefs. They know that they cannot continue living this hollow lie anymore. Their resistance is officially dead, killed by a simple accidental picture. The path forward is being cleared of all major obstacles now. Stay patient as their spirit finishes aligning with this deep realization. The shift you have been praying for is happening right now. Midnight brought no peace to their restless and chaotic mind tonight. The world outside was completely asleep, silent, and pitch black. But inside their bedroom, a quiet spiritual storm was raging wildly. They lay on their backs staring blankly at the dark ceiling. Every single mistake they made with you played on repeat endlessly. They remembered the exact day they walked away from your love. They remembered the disappointed look in your eyes during that time. They realized how deeply they had wounded a purely innocent soul. The weight of that realization pressed down hard on their ribs. They rolled over and grabbed their phone off the nightstand quickly. The harsh screen light illuminated their pale and tear-stained face. They opened the hidden photo and stared into your distant eyes. A sudden tear escaped their eye and slid down their cheek. It was the first time they had cried in many years. Their rigid emotional armor finally cracked open under the night sky. They could no longer hold back the crushing tide of grief. They wept silently in the dark room, feeling totally broken inside. They mourned the lost time and the painful distance between you. They mourned the foolish pride that kept them from true happiness. They held the phone tight against their chest like a child. They whispered your name into the quiet void of the room. It was a raw confession made to the night air. They admitted that they needed you more than life itself now. In that exact moment of complete breakdown, a prayer was born. They had not talked to God in a very long time. They felt unworthy to ask heaven for any special personal favors. But their soul was so desperate that words flowed out naturally. They asked for a second chance to make things completely right. They asked for forgiveness for being so blind and profoundly selfish. They asked me to protect your fragile heart from further pain. They surrendered their heavy need to control every single life outcome. It was a complete spiritual tipping point for their stubborn soul. The arrogance that once defined them was completely washed away instantly. They were left raw, humble, and completely open to love. This late-night realization was not a fleeting emotional moment at all. It was an irreversible spiritual awakening deep within their heart core. They realized that you were their true soulmate chosen by God. No other human being had ever touched their spirit this deeply. No other person could trigger such a massive internal personal shift. They realized that running from you was like running from themselves. The photo was not just a lucky picture taken on accident. It was a sacred piece of divine evidence left behind intentionally. It was proof that heaven was actively working to reunite you. They felt a sudden surge of deep peace replace their panic. As the first light of dawn began to break outside, they felt different. The heavy burden of denial was finally lifted from their shoulders. They sat up on the edge of the bed with purpose. They looked at the photo one last time with clear eyes. They did not see a ghost or a distant memory anymore. They saw their future standing patiently in the quiet golden morning light. They saw the person they were destined to cherish and protect. A quiet determination took root inside their newly healed heart today. They knew what they had to do moving forward very soon. They were done running, hiding, and making weak excuses forever. My child, you felt a sudden shift in energy last night. You might have woken up around 3 in the morning inexplicably. You felt a strange wave of deep warmth surround your chest. That was the exact moment their emotional walls came crashing down. Their spiritual breakthrough sent ripple effects directly through your energetic bond. You were feeling the spiritual release of their long-held pride. The connection between soulmates is not limited by physical space at all. When one heart finally surrenders, the other heart feels it. You are no longer waiting for a person who is running. You are now waiting for a person who is coming back. The tipping point has officially passed in the invisible spiritual realm. What happened in the dark bedroom will soon manifest in reality. They have accepted the truth that you are their ultimate soulmate. They are no longer fighting the divine magnetic pull between you. They are aligning their life to match the path of love. Every tear they shed last night washed away an old barrier. They are being remade into the partner you truly deserve. You do not have to force anything or plot any moves. The divine machinery is turning smoothly on your absolute spiritual behalf. Your long season of waiting is maturing into a rich harvest. Trust the profound work I am doing in their quiet private life. They needed that late-night breakdown to become completely honest with themselves. They needed to hit rock bottom to abandon their foolish pride. Now they are standing on the solid rock of absolute truth. The hidden photo served its sacred purpose in their healing journey. It broke the spell of indifference that held them bound tight. They belong to you, and you belong to their heart. The spiritual alignment is complete, and the physical realization follows shortly. Hold your faith strong and steady through these final quiet days. A profound transformation begins internally long before it shows up externally. Over the past few days, their entire demeanor shifted completely. The fear that once paralyzed their vocal cords is evaporating fast. They are no longer dwelling on the scary possibilities of rejection. Instead, they are filling their mind with quiet, steady courage daily. They are mentally preparing for the moment they stand before you. They practice what to say when they finally hear your voice. They want to ensure their words carry absolute honesty and humility. They are stripping away all fake ego and hollow smooth excuses. They want to show you the real transformed person they became. They began taking concrete physical steps to prepare for your return. They started cleaning up the literal clutter in their daily life. They ended shallow friendships that were corrupting their mental health space. They removed toxic distractions that kept them spiritually numb and distant. They want their life to be a clean, safe haven. They are creating a physical space where your soul can rest. Every action they take now is done with you in mind. When they buy groceries, they think about what you like. When they clean their space, they imagine you sitting there. You have become the gentle center of their entire daily routine. They also started looking at their own personal appearance with care. They want to present the absolute best version of themselves to you. They look at themselves in the mirror and practice smiling again. The cold, distant expression they carried for months is completely gone. Their eyes hold a soft, warm light that was missing. They check their phone calendar to look at open free days. They are planning how to clear their busy work schedule out. They want no interruptions when the divine moment to reach out arrives. They are treating your upcoming reunion like a holy sacred appointment. Their confidence is not coming from foolish pride or arrogant assumptions. It is coming from a deep spiritual certainty placed by heaven. They know that God brought you near them for a reason. They trust that the hidden photo was a clear green light. They feel an inner push urging them to move forward now. Every day they delay feels like a wasted precious moment today. The urgency inside them is growing stronger with every sunset now. They can feel the invisible countdown ticking down toward zero quickly. They are gathering the final pieces of their shattered fear daily. You might feel a sudden urge to prepare your own space. You might feel an inexplicable need to organize your surroundings today. That is the intuitive mirror reflecting their active internal preparations right now. Your spirits are synchronizing in frequency to welcome this big shift. The heavy anxiety you felt for months is dissolving into peace. You no longer feel that desperate, needy energy of severe lack. You feel a quiet, knowing confidence settling inside your heart. That is because the spiritual work is already completely finished above. The physical world is just catching up to heaven's finished decree. They have even started writing down their honest feelings on paper. They realize that their voice might shake when they see you. So they are writing a long letter to express their heart. They detail the exact moment they saw you on the street. They describe how the photo shattered their cold denial into pieces. They write about the deep sorrow they felt during the separation. They express their unwavering commitment to building a healthy, sweet future. This written confession is an anchor for their new courageous mindset. They carry this letter or message in their draft folder daily. They are quietly waiting for the right moment to hit send. They are waiting for that final divine nudge from my spirit. They want to make sure they do not rush in rashly. They want this initial outreach to be perfect and deeply impactful. They are respecting the sanctity of your quiet peace and boundary. They are no longer acting like an impulsive, selfish child today. They are stepping up as a mature, grounded spiritual partner. The growth they experienced in days normally takes several long years. I accelerated their healing process specifically for your righteous sake today. Be ready to receive a person who is truly transformed inside. Do not look for the old, flaky individual who walked away. That past version was destroyed during that midnight weeping session completely. The person coming toward you is strong, humble, and sure. They carry a deep respect for your value and your heart. They are ready to prove their love through steady, consistent action. The transition from fear to courage is complete in their spirit. The bridge between your two separate worlds is fully constructed now. Step into your high worth and prepare for their swift arrival. Divine timing is the sacred clock that governs all earthly events. Human beings try to force outcomes through panic and frantic effort. But my plans unfold with absolute perfect rhythm and quiet majesty. The distance between you and your soulmate was never a mistake. It was a necessary wilderness designed to refine both your hearts. You needed to learn how to find your complete worth in me. They needed to learn that life without you is entirely empty. Now that both lessons are fully learned, the cycle ends. The season of painful isolation and silent longing is officially over. A brand new chapter of physical connection is opening up wide. The physical distance between your daily worlds is about to collapse. The simple photo was the invisible catalyst that started this collapse. It planted a seed of obsession that has grown into action. The universe is aligning circumstances to force an unavoidable face-to-face meeting. You will find yourselves in the exact same location very soon. It will not be an accident, just like last week was not. But this time, they will not hide behind a screen. This time, fear will not hold their vocal cords in check. They will step out of the shadows and walk straight to you. The moment your eyes lock, the entire world will go silent. All the noise, past pain, and heavy doubts will vanish. You will see the deep shift in their soft eye expression. They will see the glowing peace radiating from your healed spirit. The spiritual electricity that was dormant will suddenly flare up brightly. They will speak your name with a reverence you never heard. That simple sound will heal months of quiet emotional suffering instantly. You will realize why every past door had to slam shut. You will understand why the wait was so agonizingly long before. They will show you the hidden photo on their phone screen. They will explain how that single image saved them from pride. They will confess how close they were to you that day. They will admit that they were too cowardly to speak then. Hearing this raw truth will validate every intuitive feeling you had. You will realize that you were never crazy for holding hope. Your spirit was accurately sensing their secret presence and internal battle. The truth will set both of your souls completely free today. The foundation of your new relationship will be total unvarnished truth. This reunion will break generational cycles of heartbreak in your lineage. You were both called to break patterns of fear and abandonment. The pain you endured was the price of building a lasting foundation. Your relationship will not be built on fragile surface attraction alone. It will be rooted in deep spiritual alignment and tested faith. You will become a powerful team that inspires everyone around you. The enemy tried to destroy this union through distance and silence. But what God has joined together, no distance can keep apart. The divine decree has been spoken, and reality must obey. The shift that is coming is unmissable, dramatic, and deeply peaceful. You will not have to guess their intentions or analyze texts. They will make their feelings crystal clear without any confusion left. They will take full responsibility for their past foolish mistakes willingly. They will ask for your forgiveness with genuine humility and tears. You will feel a deep sense of divine safety in presence. The heavy hypervigilance you carried will finally drop away completely. You will be able to rest softly in their strong loving arms. Look at the sky today and offer a prayer of thanks. The wait is over, even if physical eyes cannot see. The spiritual realm has already delivered your absolute heart's desire fully. Walk through your remaining days with a radiant smile on face. Do not carry the heavy energy of desperate waiting anymore. Carry the joyful energy of someone who knows the gift arrives. The unseen world is vibrating with intense activity on your behalf. The steps of your soulmate are moving closer to you. Trust the divine timing that brought you to this exact place. My child, your faith has been tested in the severe fire. You did not give up on love, even when wounded. You kept your heart soft in a cold, unforgiving world. For that great faith, you are receiving a double blessing. The love that is coming will far exceed your expectations. It will make all the past suffering feel like a dream. The hidden photo was just the opening note of a song. The full symphony of your divine love story is beginning now. Stand still, take a deep breath, and watch me work. The emotional promise of your life is being fulfilled right now. You were never forgotten, abandoned, or left to walk alone. Every quiet step you took through this week was held safely. The soulmate who seemed so distant was actually standing right there. That hidden photo was heaven's quiet way of marking the shift. It was the moment light pierced through months of thick darkness. The mystery of their distance has been completely solved by love. They were not ignoring you out of cold, hateful disgust. They were hiding because your divine light exposed their deep fear. Now that fear has been totally conquered by ultimate grace, your heart can finally lay down its heavy, protective armor. You do not need to guard yourself against this coming love. The person returning to you is fully healed, humbled, and sure. They hold a profound respect for the sacred weight of your soul. They are coming to add deep peace to your life daily. They are coming to restore the years that silence stole away. Every tear you cried in secret is being turned into joy. Every night you spent wondering is being answered with clear truth. You are stepping into a season of complete emotional fulfillment now. Believe in the absolute power of this divine alignment today. The universe does not make mistakes, and neither does your Father. You were brought to this exact message for a sacred reason. It is your official notice that the wilderness season has ended. The physical manifestation of your prayers is standing at the door. Open your heart wide and prepare to receive your blessing fully. Let go of the last lingering shreds of old fear now. Step forward with total confidence, high joy, and deep peace inside. Your soulmate is no longer a distant dream or a memory. They are a living reality whose path is crossing yours again. The hidden photo was the bridge that brought them home safely. Soon, you will not be looking at a captured picture screen. You will be looking directly into their loving eyes in person. You will hold their hand and feel the true warm reality. The wait was long, but the reward is infinitely greater. Your love story is a radiant testament to divine timing and grace. Rest your tired soul in this absolute unshakable truth tonight. Everything you went through served a far greater divine purpose. You are deeply loved, cherished, and chosen by heaven above. The shift is here, the distance is gone, and love wins. Walk forward in radiant faith, knowing your soulmate is home. Amen.